Oh yeah. Doesn't it start with an N?
Oh, let's see.
I can't think of it. But yeah, it was more Arabian in a way.
Yeah, I can't even think of the level name. But anyways, yeah, there's that.
And of course, you each place, like you said earlier, had its own temple. You did the whole Chaos Emerald thing, and once they're all back, you get to go to the last place, which is Eggman Land.
Eggman Land, which is based around...
that one was... You would switch back from Sonic to being the Werehog and then back to Sonic.
Oh yeah, there was only one act for that, which you just, switch back and forth.
Because that was a long level.
It was a very long level, and it was very hard, but it was also... I kind of enjoyed it still.
Right, and then you would fight Eggman at the end.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of Sonic's last level in SA1, Final Egg, because of its, I don't know, it just reminded me of it for some reason.
Right. And then, after you would fight him, then Dark Gaia comes out and goes all Resident Evil.
Oh, yes. And then, there is one thing that I really like about this game is that the entire franchise, leads up to, Eggman's always talking about, I'm going to build Eggman Land. And everybody's like, you're always wondering, what would Eggman Land look like? And this is the first game where Eggman actually succeeds, doing what he's been trying to do for the entire franchise, which I really like. It's like, holy crap, man, it's Eggman Land. It's here. This is crazy.
And then, it's pretty bad we forgot about one of the main characters.
Is Chip.
Little Chip.
Chip, he's a very controversial character.
Yeah. And I kind of cried at the end.
Oh, David.
Because he was gone.
David. It's just like the ending of Gamma.
Right,
or a Gamma story.
As little side buddies, Chip was the one I never found to be annoying. He was more adorable in his own little way.
Yeah, I consider that. He was basically the comic aspect of the entire game, You would always see him in the cutscenes, doing just random crap in the background.
Right. I mean, what little cute creatures offer you chocolate?
I know. It's perfect.
Everyone he went up to. Want some chocolate?
Want some chocolate?
Unless it's an evil scheme and the chocolate is really poisonous.
Jails. Oh, also, I think Dan Green voices more characters in this Sonic game than he has in any other Sonic game. Of course, there's the Ice Cream Man that Dan Green voices, which is glorious, but there's also one of my favorite character in the game, probably, Professor Pickle. Professor Pickle.
Yeah, I like Professor Pickle.
He's very obsessed with his sandwiches, he is. And he's just kind of there. He adds to the plot, but he's just there just to show off his nose. His glorious eyebrows. But you were talking about the end game, weren't you?
Yeah, about how it's a little different as a final boss would be. Well, in the beginning, it was a little different. Because you would be on, Chip would get the temples all together, and it would become like a temple Megazord.
Which was pretty cool.
And it was a fight between, I guess, Chip versus Dark Gaia, and it would have parts where you would go as Sonic, speeding through different sections of the temple, and you would end up hitting one of Dark Gaia's eyes.
Yeah, and I really like that. I think the Sonic Unleashed, the final part of the game is really epic because the first time you play as Sonic running around the Temple Colossus, whatever, and seeing Dark Gaia's eye in the background, you're like, holy shit, this guy is huge. This means this is gonna be one hell of a battle. And it's
exactly.
It just it gets you in this mindset that this boss isn't fucking around, man. This is the biggest Sonic final boss we've ever had.
And then, everything got glorious when Sonic became Super Sonic.
Of course, and I think that this is probably one of the best super battles in any game.
With endless possibilities playing in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is like glorious.
A dark orchestral version of it, which is pretty sweet. Of course, it wasn't real orchestra, but it was still awesome all the same.
And then I had to hit the X button on the Xbox controller 60 times.
Oh, it was worth it. You see, I'm kind of good.
I broke my phone.
Did you? No, you did not.
No.
Oh my god. It's not that bad. But, I don't know. I'm kind of good at those kind of sections where you just have to rapidly tap a button. I don't know why. Just I am.
But, and then everything was glorious.
Yeah, and then Chip, you know, he continues without his natural life, I guess. Being sealed within the planet.
I guess he went back to sleep. I don't think he really died.
No, he didn't die. He just went back to sleep.
I was still sad, though.
Of course, we're never going to see him again because he'll be in that planet for years.
You want to know the one sad part in the game?
Huh.
Was the credits. When they start playing, the woman starts singing, and it sounded sad, and they were showing pictures, and I was like... Oh.
That was actually a guy. It's like one of those
That was a guy?
It was a guy singing that.
Oh my god.
But oh my god, it's like one of those commercials that are talking about abused animals.
I know. I'm like, Chip. No.
But yeah.
But I guess anyways, like most things, we gotta move on.
Yeah. I like that. I like Sonic Unleashed because there's a lot of heart put into it. You know, there's a lot of character development for Sonic, both Sonic and Chip, not really Tails, or Amy's also in the game, but she doesn't really play a part.
No, she kind of screws up.
Yeah, and this is probably, in this game they really tried to limit how many characters they put in the game because, you know, they got tired of hearing all the complaints about there's all these useless characters, so there's only one useless character in this game, which is good. It's a step up. But yeah, Sonic Unleashed was a big revitalization for the franchise, I would say. Right. Like, it was definitely, it made up for 06, I think. It definitely did.
I would agree.
That's actually, well, I would say Generations made up for most of the franchise, I guess, so.
But
we'll move on.
Let's move on. Well, instead of a game coming out for, like, you know, the 360 and PS3, Nintendo finally, you know, yes, Unleashed did come out for the Wii, but
it's not the same.
It was more of a you could get it for every console.
Yeah.
Where now Nintendo gets their hands, where they finally make this game, where it was available to play on their home console and on their handheld, the DS.
Indeed, which was Sonic Colors.
Yes, and Sonic Colors, you know, look so bright.
You know, the stars are shining tonight. Anyways.
But
Sonic Colors was, I guess you could say it's a fan service. No, I guess I wouldn't say, but, it's basically, I guess not an upgrade of the Unleash style of gameplay, but I would say it's like an alternate version. They basically took the daytime stages from Unleashed and made it its entire game. Which was a brilliant idea.
And like, oh my god, I had so much fun playing Colors.
I did too, although there are some difficulty spikes, like 1 or 2, I guess, that they really got on my nerves. Like, the game, it's pretty easy, but it's really fun. It's short, but it's fun.
Right, and the music in that game was fantastic.
I know, the soundtrack is really good. Although, I was kind of let down by it, but because I don't know if you heard like those fake music tracks that were rumored to be in colors at first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was like one on Newgrounds that was really good, and I was really let down when I actually heard the real version. But it's still good. It's still really good. I don't know. There's so much. It's a very diverse soundtrack, which I really like. It's very happy and sunshiny and colorful, and just like the game itself, so it fits.
Right. Well, I guess that would lead to story. So the plot for this one was Eggman decides to make himself, I guess you would call it a universal carnival in a way
In space.
in space, and he had other planets, and these planets for these aliens, I guess you would call them, they might have lived on different planets, but they all seem to be linked up somehow. If you know what I mean. I mean, they
Literally.
all had different abilities,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but they were known as one name, which were
The wisps.
Wisps.
Which they're really different races of wisps, I think, because you got the normal wisps, the white ones that just give you sonic boost power. You got orange rocket, you know.
Rocket.
Oh, I should just do that. And then you got cyan, which is laser, and then you have green, which is hover, and then pink, which is spikes, and
Blue.
blue. Oh yeah, blue cube, and then you have the what Eggman is converting them all into is the purple ones, which are Frenzy.
Frenzy.
And Frenzy is just the Hulk, I guess.
Yeah, I like Frenzy.
Yeah, Frenzy just destroys everything, and every other one is just pretty self-explanatory. Hover makes you hover. Rocket shoots you into the sky. You know. Oh yeah, there's Drill too.
Right.
There's also
Oh yeah,
Drill.
Yellow was drill.
Drill, and which you can drill through the ground with.